Akash, and this is your News of the Week for the week of June 28th to July 3rd, 2021. Now, there's two quick things I want to talk about before we begin today's News of the Week. And the first one is that if you're wondering why there is some noises outside, that's because it's actually raining. And we'll actually get to the weather update section of today's News of the Week in just a moment. And the second thing I want to talk about is that just yesterday, on July 2nd, we've actually passed the halfway mark of the year 2021. This half year has been great, and I look forward to the following half of this year to be even better. Now, with that thrown out of the way, let's take a look at the stories for the News of the Week today. And so we begin with the U.S. Air Force handing over their last and key Afghanistan air base, Bagram Airfield, back to the Afghans, effectively ending operations in the country that have lasted over 20 years. The longest war in American history, the war in Afghanistan, has finally come to an end. Actually a couple months early, because it was scheduled to end in mid-September, and now it's ending quite early. So the reason why this is happening right now is because of a peace deal that took place between America and the Taliban, which is our main rival in the area. So the peace deal that we came to was that America would withdraw from the war in Afghanistan in exchange for the Taliban preventing Al-Qaeda from ever operating in Taliban-run areas again. So this was the plan that we set out. And so the U.S. is doing it in accordance with the peace deal. We are withdrawing from the war in Afghanistan, and this marks perhaps the final bit of that. But the thing is, maybe the Taliban might not actually conform to the terms of the deal. They may violate it. As we've seen in the past, the Taliban has begun to take an offensive route through the insurrection that they've been doing for the past 20 years. Now they're starting to take on the offensive, and they've captured multiple cities, inching closer to the capital of Kabul day by day. And now some are getting concerned that without America, Afghanistan might succumb to the Taliban again, when that's not what we want. So we just have to hope that the Taliban does what we have it to, because otherwise, according to the terms of the peace deal, we may have to come right back in and go back and drive off the Taliban for violating the terms of the deal we made. So I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope that we have a safe and peaceful ending to the war in Afghanistan, the longest war in the history of America. Now, the next issue I want to talk about is also related to war, and it's actually that President Biden has ordered and conducted airstrikes at facilities belonging to Iran-backed militia. And these facilities are based around Iraq and Syria and that border. So what's going on here is that militias such as Kataib Hezbollah and others have formed facilities that are producing weapons. And so just a couple months back, they started attacking U.S. personnel, military personnel who were stationed in Iraq. So these attacks right here have been done in revenge, to retaliate against them by firing airstrikes, these precision strikes, against the Iran-backed militia facilities. Now, some may say that they are going to fire back and it will not be very good. And by the way, that's pretty much what one of the militias targeted said, Kataib Hezbollah. But President Biden and his administration have said that the reason why they're doing this is for defensive purposes. They're avenging the attacks against us in order to prevent any further attacks against U.S. personnel. The House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, said that the protecting our military soldiers who are defending our freedom in these regions, defending them and protecting them is a sacred priority, and it truly is. So this has been done in revenge for the attacks committed by these militias against America in Iraq. So we hope that any further attacks like these will not happen, and that things will be a lot more peaceful in Iraq and Syria. Now, another topic I want to talk about here, and this is where we begin our weather update section of our News of the Week. This actually relies on the extreme heat wave that is currently battering the Pacific Northwest of the US and the southwest of Canada. So what's going on here is that apparently due to climate change, which is quite interesting, according to governmental authorities, it's due to climate change, and the NOAA says that it's due to global warming and its effects that this is currently taking place. So that's what the NOAA is currently saying, and to be fair, it is really dangerous. It's caused many deaths, 438 deaths at least, just as a start. And then we don't know how many have been undocumented after those reported ones. So things are going very badly. Plus, it's even set the Canadian record for hottest temperature ever in Canada. 121 degrees Fahrenheit or 49.6 degrees Celsius, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is a super dangerous situation, and plus it's caused multiple wildfires throughout the whole region, and it's even burned down 90 to 95% of the city of Lytton in British Columbia, which is a province in Canada. This situation is rapidly growing, and so to anyone affected by this gigantic heat wave, make sure to take all precautions possible and stay safe. Your safety is important to all of us, so make sure to keep your calm and stay safe. Take all the precautions that you can. According to the NOAA, if you search it up on the NWS's website at weather.gov, you can see there's a lot of wildfire and heat wave warnings in the Pacific Northwest, and the same would be if you go to Canada's. So this is a rapidly growing and very dangerous situation, so make sure to stay safe. And our other issue with the weather situation here actually goes all the way down on the other side of the United States. In fact, it hasn't even reached America yet, but it probably will. It's Hurricane Elsa, which has been battering the Caribbean for the past couple days. So this is a Category 1 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale, and it's battered a lot of the Lesser Antilles region of the Caribbean. To be fair, the island country of Barbados hasn't seen a hurricane for countless years, and now Hurricane Elsa came along and it damaged a lot of roofs and caused a lot of power outages in the region. So what's slated to happen is that it's going to start going up into Cuba, Haiti, Jamaica, and then the Bahamas. And then, as we go into Monday and Tuesday, it's going to start battering South Florida and then moving northern all the way into Georgia maybe. This is the current trajectory, the path of Hurricane Elsa. So if you are in the path listed out by the government and by NOAA and NWS, then make sure to stay safe. Again, take all the precautions that you can because it matters right now. So make sure to stay safe if you're in the trajectory of Hurricane Elsa right now. Now, the next issue I want to talk about, and this ends our weather update section. So let's talk about July 4th, because July 4th is actually tomorrow, which is American Independence Day. So on July 4th, we celebrate the day when the 13 colonies became free and independent United States of America. So happy 4th of July in advance, everyone. I know I can't wait for the fireworks, and I know you can't wait too. Now, let's take a look at one story that is current this week, which I am super excited about. Spaceflight company Virgin Galactic has officially announced their very first ever fully crewed space flight on all aboard the VSS Unity. VSS Unity 22 is the name of the mission. It's the 22nd test flight of VSS Unity, and it's going to be the very first fully crewed mission. It's going to be sending 6 astronauts into space, including the CEO of the gigantic Virgin conglomerate, Richard Branson. He's going to be there as an astronaut on VSS Unity as it flies on July 11th, 2021 at, I believe, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. It is going to be so much fun to see this happen. And I'm super proud and very excited specifically for Sirisha Barma, who is actually going to be, she's already the vice president of Virgin Galactic. And now she's going to be the 3rd Indian American woman after Kalpana Chawla and Sunitha Williams. She'll be the 3rd Indian American woman and also first of Telugu origin to be in space, which is going to be so awesome. And what's even more joyous is that Sirisha Barma is actually the niece of my favorite auntie, Manju Uttama, and that is just awesome. It's a very proud day, and I cannot wait. I'm super excited for this on July 11th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and I hope you can't wait either. I'm super stoked for this. Now, the next issue I want to talk about here is actually in quite stark contrast. It's out in South Africa, and it's actually that the ex-president of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, has been sentenced to 15 months in prison for contempt of court. Now, what exactly has happened here? So, ever since Jacob Zuma was inaugurated as president of South Africa in 2009, all the way until he was forced to resign in 2018, he has faced a lot of scrutiny for corruption and bribery. And so recently he's faced allegations of this sort of thing, corruptions and bribes. Earlier, while he was in office, he set up a commission known as the Zondo Commission to help investigate corruption. The thing is, he was doing corruption himself, so after he was forced to resign, the Zondo Commission he created himself just started chasing him down and going after him on suspicions of this corruption. So recently, he was ordered by the Zondo Commission to go ahead and testify to them. So the thing is, Jacob Zuma did not come. So that means that he ended up getting sentenced to 1 1/3 years in prison for contempt of court. And, well, wow, that is a rather awkward situation that's going on here, from the president of South Africa all the way to being in prison in just 3 years, which, to be fair, isn't that much time. Things have gone really interesting in the region right now. And so we'll have to see what else comes up of the situation right now. Now, the final story I want to talk about for this week actually relates to U.S. Athlete Sha'Carri Richardson, because she has been suspended for a month by the International Olympic Committee after a positive doping test. So this is quite bad, is it? So during the U.S. Olympic trials, she's a runner, and she managed to take the U.S. Olympic trials trophy for the 100 meters relay, the 100 meters race. So the thing is, well, this is great, but then afterwards, everyone had to take a doping test just to confirm, and hers came back positive. So that put her situation in doubt, and after a counseling program was finished, she agreed to a 1-month ban by the IOC, which makes her ineligible to compete in the equivalent, the 100 meters race at the Olympics. Although she is still eligible for the women's 4x100 relay race, which comes a couple days after the ban is finished. So, yeah, this puts a rather large stain on her growing career, and it's going to be interesting to see what comes up next. And that is all of your news of the week for the week of June 28th to July 3rd, 2021. I'm Akash Cody. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you soon in some more news of the week. Goodbye.